Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 5 of the Esports Simulation League presented by Education Solutions. We're here in North Wilkesboro for the J&K Motorworks 250. Starting on the pole, the number 39 of David Wilson, Brian Delp Jr. starting to his outside. Straxpool is going to be starting to his inside. And your points leader, David Leathers, in the 111 car, starting to the outside, row number 2. We're getting ready to go green flag here. We're going to get the 1 to go signal as they come by. The white flag wave lap commencing. The number 57 machine is starting inside row number 3. That's going to be Fox Highwind. The number 76 going to be to his outside. That's Williams McGee having a great starting spot here for North Wilkesboro. Number 36, Kyoto Soto starting the inside row number 4. And the number 28 machine, David Dunwoody, going to start to the outside. As we come into turn number 3, we are going to be going green flag. End of stage number 1 is going to be lap 25. The pace car pulls off. Green flag is in the air, and we're racing at North Wilkesboro. Brian Delp Jr. going to fight hard on the outside through 1 and 2. And he's going to take the lead as David Wilson gets a little slipped up coming out of number 2. So that's going to allow Delp Jr. to take it. Leathers battling hard on the outside, trying to take that second place spot away from David Wilson. He's going to take it away in turn number 1. Wilson's going to battle hard, but he's not going to be able to get back. Leathers, P2, going to try to chase down Brian Delp Jr. Williams McGee in that 76 held his spot in the second row and is currently running 4th right now, right behind David Wilson. David Dunwoody in 5th. After we get 2 laps on the board, staying clean and green, no problems. Your top 6 or so back single file now. Looks like our next battle on the track is going to be between Javier Vasquez and Evan Straxpool. And Javier Vasquez is going to take that spot away, move him up to P7. Started outside the top 10, making his way up the field early on here. Looks like Fox Highwind in that 57 is falling back fairly quickly. Down to 10th place. We got 3 wide as Bobby Leo Moxon takes it on the outside of Fox Highwind. And Kyoto Soto still 3 wide through 1 and 2. Almost a full lap. Fox Highwind gives up on the bottom. It allows him to battle it out. Kyoto Soto almost had the position on Moxon, but Moxon has it on the outside of turn 4. This is a battle for 10th place right now. Bobby Leo Moxon is going to come out in front. Now we're 3 wide with the 36 and Kyoto Soto there. Eric Davis in the 55 trying what Bobby Leo Moxon did on the outside. Not going to be able to make it work, though. He's going to fall back in line and try to follow Fox Highwind around Soto, and he's going to do that. Soto's going to try to battle the inside, but I think that outside momentum is just going to keep it for Davis. Davis is going to hold on to that spot. Still a little bit of side-by-side battling towards the back of the pack. Up front, Brian Delp Jr. has got himself about a 1-second lead over David Leathers in the 111. Thought Leathers might be chasing Delp down, but he is running away from him at the moment. David Wilson is right on David Leathers' tail, and Williams McGee is right there as well. Big battle for 3rd place. One little slip up, and these guys are right here for each other. But the top 4 are breaking away from the pack. It looks like we got about 8 cars spread out before we get back to double file action with Fox Highwind and Bobby Leo Moxon now fighting for 11th place. And Brian Delp Jr. is going to come across the stripe, completing lap number 12. They're going to tick by fast here. We are about halfway to the stage. Brian Delp Jr. running away from the field, almost a second and a half ahead of David Wilson there in second, but in third, where David Wilson is actually running. Wilson only a half a second behind Leathers, but that extra second that separates the leader in the second place car looks actually fairly large on racetrack. But when you get him, see him going through the corners, they're actually right there. Delp Jr. pulling away as we speak. But 2, 3, and 4, those guys are just kind of running as close as they're at. I'm surprised they're not really battling through the corners quite yet. Looks like Williams McGee is catching Wilson just a little bit. Let's see if we get a battle sparking up. Brian Delp Jr. looking good for that first stage point. Got a little bit of battle going in the back with number 56, Freddie Trammell Jr. Looks like he was riding the 038. And he's going to get by him. And Bobby Leo Moxon, after making that move on the high side to put himself in the top 10, is falling down now to 15th position. Maybe he's just stuck down on the inside, but you see Steve Bird going by him on the high side. Not really sure if he just wore some tires off that 92 machine or what happened, but Bobby Leo Moxon definitely falling further and further through the field as you see Kyoto Soto making a move on the outside, trying to get by that 92 as well. So a rough start to the J&K Motorworks 250 for Bobby Leo Moxon. Brian Delp Jr. is up front. 5 more laps to go to the stage. He's hit some lap traffic now. David Leathers is starting to close in the gap. Will this lap traffic be a factor for the final stage point? David Leathers within a half a second now, running the bottom side. 2 lap cars battling side by side in front of Delp Jr. The 115 goes low. And Leathers may try to make it 3 wide, possibly going into turn number 1. We'll see if he makes that move. The 115 is going to run the middle. But David Wilson's going to come to the outside. He's going to make a move for second. He's going to get in front of Leathers. The 115 gets very loose coming out of turn number 2 and loses the top 2, so he's going to fall out of the way. I'm sure Wilson and Leathers will get by him no problem. Brian Delp Jr. now goes to the inside of the 521. Gonna try to put him a lap down, but here comes David Wilson. 1 more lap to go to the stage. Can Wilson or Leathers get by Delp? They've got to deal with the lap car of the 521. I don't think they're going to have time. Brian Delp Jr. puts a little gap, and as he comes through 3 and 4, your stage 1 winner is going to be Brian Delp Jr. Your stages tonight presented by the Narcolepsy Network. Supporting people with narcolepsy since 1986. Brian Delp Jr. getting it done. David Wilson coming in second place, with David Leathers finishing out third in that stage. Williams McGee and David Dunwoody in that 28 machine's got himself up into the top 5 as the stage completes. Now, will we see some pit stops? We definitely seen some cars getting lapped, so we will have a few cars a lap down now. But yes, the leaders are coming to pit road. Will anybody's pit stop strategy or their crew get them out, maybe get some spots? Will David Leathers get out front of these two on pit road? and give him some clean air? Or can David Wilson pop up in front of Brian Delp Jr.? We'll see. Delp pulls out very fast, way before Wilson and Leathers. Williams McGee comes out. David Leathers is actually going to lose 2 spots on pit road. Williams McGee is going to come out in third in that 76 machine. And I believe it was Tyler Markle that's going to come out in fourth in that 43 machine, out in front of David Leathers. And it actually looks like Adam Jones in the 48 has also got by David Leathers. So Leathers going to lose 3 spots on pit road. So tough break for the 111 machine. Not sure what's going on there with some lap cars, but you see running in 7th out of pit road is the number 68. Gunny, he hasn't been up in the top 10 too much this season. So nice to see that 68 making his way up here on the short track. But there is your winner of the stage, Brian Delp Jr. David Wilson right behind him, making the move on David Leathers in lap traffic. Does Wilson have anything for Delp in the next 25 laps? Stage number 2 is going to be at lap 50. Then we'll turn them loose for 200 laps and see what they can do. And there is your Season 4 standings. Currently 4 races in. David Leathers atop the board with 2 wins and 3 top 5s. Javier Vasquez in that number 7 machine is right behind him, though, just shy of that front position, about 16 points at the moment. It looks like we are 1 to go green. Delp Jr., Wilson, McGee, and Markle, your top 4. Adam Jones in that 48. Inside row number 3. The pace car is down, and here we go for stage number 2. David Wilson gets a much better start on this one. He's going to run the outside. Can he get by Brian Delp Jr.? Delp slips up, and both Markle and Wilson are going to get by Delp Jr. No, Delp Jr. is going to battle hard on the inside on Markle, but he's not going to be able to get it done. David Wilson's going to try to follow him by. Tough start for Brian Delp Jr., but David Wilson now takes the lead, and he goes running. 2 Black Magic teammates out in front, Wilson and Markle. Gonna try to pull the field, but there's David Leathers in the 111 running third. Made up those 3 spots on the start already, and back where he was at the end of the first stage. Williams McGee back there in 4th, and Brian Delp Jr. about to fall out of the top 5 as Rich Pratchard goes around him on the outside. Not a very good place to be on a restart, is on the inside. We've seen that on a couple of the starts. The inside car just falls back a few spots. Brian Delp Jr. now falling back behind Fox Highway to 6th position, 7th position. About to fall back even further. So tough break for him. David Wilson and Tyler Markle still out front, pulling away from the field, but the top 4 still fairly close together. Rich Pratchard trying not to let these guys get away, but he's still 2 seconds behind David Wilson at the moment. So you'll file now through the top 8. David Dunwoody and Brian Delp Jr. back there battling for the 10th position now. And it looks like Al Andretti is going to try to take that 10th position away from Brian Delp Jr. So he is going to fall now out of the top 10. And it looks like he's having kind of the same problem that the 92 was having a little earlier on the race, where he just kind of got stuck down on the inside and has been just a little bit slower. So we'll see if he can get himself back on top of the track and working back towards the front of the field. But there you see Javier Vasquez, number 7, second in the point standings right now, coming into the picture. He's currently running 13th, going to take 12th away from Brian Delp Jr. here after this next corner, if he can keep it together. So Javier Vasquez trying to make his way up through the field and catch David Leathers, who is currently running 3rd right behind Wilson and Markle. Still, the front 5 cars not able to gap each other. Looks like we got a battle for the lead as Tyler Markle's going to go around David Wilson and take the lead. Wilson's going to go back to the top side and try to block David Leathers. Leathers going to look to the inside of Wilson and try to take that second position. Not going to be able to do it on the inside, though. I think he's definitely going to have to get him on the outside. Wilson defends the position and Markle pulls away. Not sure if David Wilson was getting a little hot or if Tyler Markle was just a little bit faster than him. But a great move by some teammates to hold their positions but swap spots, as Markle is now pulling away almost a second over David Wilson in second place. Tyler Markle is up 8 spots from his original starting position. Started just inside, up 9 spots, started just inside the top 10. And is running out here right now as he comes to complete lap 44. We got 5 more laps to go left in this stage. Tyler Markle is out front. David Wilson in second. David Leathers in the 111 is in third. Williams McGee in fourth. And Rich Pratchard rounding out the top 5. But Fox Highland and Evan Straxpool Ethel there are right behind, not going anywhere. So nice tight group inside the top 10 so far at the start of this race. But Tyler Markle, like Brian Delp Jr. in the first one, got some clean air and is now pulling away to 1.5 second lead over his teammate David Wilson. So that 43 very fast tonight. Let's see if once he gets on the long runs, if he can hold this speed down, or if he's going to use up his tires a little bit too fast. We'll have to see once we get into the long stints. We're going to have a 200 lap green flag stint if we can keep them green flag. So they are definitely going to have to manage tires and definitely are going to have to worry about a possible green flag pit stop. But as Tyler Markle comes down the back straightaway, he's almost 2.5 seconds ahead of second place. He's going to come out of turn number 4, and he's going to be your Stage 2 winner. Your stage is once again presented by the Narcolepsy Network. And wow, Tyler Markle gets it done over 2 seconds in about 10 laps. David Wilson going to take second place in that stage, with David Leathers coming in third. David Leathers going to be hoping for a better pit stop this time. Lost 3 positions on pit road on the last stop, so definitely going to be looking to his pit and see if he can actually maintain his spot. Got a lot of lap cars getting a wave around in front of the leaders, and the leaders should be coming to pit road, and there they come. Tyler Markle, David Wilson, David Leathers, Rich Pratchard, and Williams McGee leading them. We'll see if anybody can make anything happen. Our stages are done. The scene is set. And we've got 200 fast laps from North Wilkesboro coming up. Looks like we have got 30 cars currently on the lead lap. David Leathers holds the spot. Rich Pratchard comes out in fourth. He's going to move up a couple spots. Evan Straxpool is going to come out in fifth. So not a whole lot of change on pit road. Rich Pratchard's going to gain a spot or two. But Tyler Markle's going to come out front, and David Wilson's going to come in second. Now, I've got to wonder, with the couple restarts we've seen, I wonder if David Wilson just let Markle have that stage win so that he could start on the outside and not have a repeat of what we have seen earlier on in the race. So we'll have to see if Markle can hold it together on the inside, or will he fall back like Delp did and give that position to Wilson. We'll have to see. As the pace car comes around, I think we're going to have 2 more laps until we go green. Our lap cars are still making their pit stops. As you see, Gerald Smith in that 31 machine coming out of the pit road after getting service from his crew, getting in the way of all of our drivers back there. And it looks like the 5 is going to be getting, possibly getting a wave around. Not sure why exactly, unless he stayed out and is going to end up becoming our new leader. But I feel like he's going to be getting a waiver around here. And there he goes. And it looks like after the pit stops and everything, we're going to have more cars a lap down. It looks like we've got 22 cars now on the lead lap. And we're going to get ready to go back green flag racing. Markle, Wilson, Leathers, and Pratchard, your top 4. It's all going to be on that number 43 machine. When that pace car ducks onto the safety of pit road, it's all going to be on him. Green flag's going to be in the air, and we're back racing at North Wilkesboro. The 43 and the 39 get identical starts. And the 43 hold it down the inside. David Leathers down behind him. He holds fairly strong down the backstretch. They're battling side by side as they come out of turn 4. Not going to be able to hold on enough. Wilson's going to get by and take that spot. Pratchard's going to try to follow him by on the outside. Fox Highwind coming by. He's going to try to take 3rd position from Markle there. Markle battling very hard. They almost touch doors. Fox Highwind's going to get it. Markle's going to fall back in behind in 4th place and get back into that preferred line. You see Al Andretti get a little bit loose going into turn number 1 and goes a little high. But that is going to move him up into 5th position in front of David Leathers. So Leathers going to have a little bit of work to do now in 6th position. And David Wilson now out in front of this race. Rich Pratchard in 2nd. The next battle is between Steve Bird and Evan Straxpool in the 38. That is a battle for 7th place. And there's Brian Delp Jr. in the 8 machine trying to make his way back up to the front. He's going to try to take 8th place from Straxpool. And he's going to do that. He's going to go on and try to chase Steve Bird. Not too much gap between the leaders at the moment. Only 3 seconds separate the top 10 at the moment. David Wilson, Rich Pratchard, and Fox Highwind, your top 3. We have 61 laps complete here at North Wilkesboro for the J&K Motorworks 250 scheduled laps here. David Wilson hasn't led many of them, but he's got a long green flag stint ahead of him. We'll see how long it takes for these cars to pit. I have to imagine we will see pit stops around lap 200, maybe 210. But we will see if anybody tries to make some bold moves and try to pit early and get some very valuable fresh rubber. As these cars get going around this track, they will slow down due to the rubber loss on them tires, which will totally change our race. Rich Pratchard not allowing David Wilson to get away from him at all, staying right on his bumper, just a few tenths off. Fox Highwind trying to hold on with them as well. Tyler Markle falling back just a little bit, but staying with the field, and David Leathers currently in 5th place, trying to chase down the rest of these guys. Everybody is mostly single file around the racetrack now. That newness has worn off the rubber, and everybody's just kind of in the groove, trying to catch that little tenth or two that they can on the person in front of them in the corners, waiting for the rubber fall off to become a factor. Leathers starting to catch Markle. Getting a very aggressive entry into the corner. See them wheels work back and forth on the 111 machine. Really look out here at this old racetrack. And it's a great view from David Leathers' car, currently running in 5th position behind Tyler Markle. And it doesn't seem like either one of these guys has really got an advantage on each other. It does look like David Wilson is pulling away from Rich Pratchard just a little bit. 0.8 seconds now between him and Pratchard, so he's gained about a 1/10 a lap on Pratchard, so not a whole lot. Not much margin for mistake for the 39 machine. Rich Pratchard in 86 having a great drive for himself today, running P2. Haven't seen him up front too often. We've seen him make appearances here up front, but hasn't actually been running up front. So good run for the number 86 machine right here at North Wilkesboro. And the same with the number 57, Fox Highwind, currently running 3rd place. Putting a great effort in getting by the 111 who's in the point standings. Tyler Markle at a 43 is always very strong. So he's definitely got some very strong competition that he's had to pass and get by. He's putting in a great performance in. Tyler Markle doing everything he can to stay in that 4th position, but David Leathers is not giving in, putting the pressure on lap after lap. Looks like we got a battle in the back with Adam Jones in 28 with David Dunwoody. Dunwoody trying to get around Jones. Jones not having it. It looks like David Dunwoody is going to fall back due to that battle. Freddie Terrell Jr. there going by on the outside, and Gerald Smith in the 31 machine is looking to go back by on the outside as well. And there we can, right behind these guys, we actually see the 7 of Javier Vasquez. Now, Javier Vasquez is our second place in points right now, but he's actually falling back behind some of the lap cars now. He is currently in front of the 76 machine, which is kind of falling back, but the 31 there is a lap car, so I'm not sure what is going on with Gerald Smith. Not sure if he is just a little bit faster right now, or if Javier Vasquez and these guys are slowing down, but definitely are going to become a factor in this 200 lap green flag stint. You got 21 drivers currently on the lead lap. Frank Wade being the last car on the lead lap. We've got a bunch of stuff going on up front. Fox Highwind, they're in lap traffic already. And Fox Highwind trying to make a move on David Dunwoody. Tyler Markle's up to 3rd. Rich Pratchard is falling back to 4th. traffic. Alberto De Moya making the race for the lead. Interesting. Tyler Markle making a move on Fox Highland on the outside, and now he's making a move on David Wilson on the outside. Wilson battles hard on the inside with the 96, trying to hold that line. But can Tyler Markle get it done? They're going to be side by side going into turn number 1. Alan Andretti trying to fall out in behind in 4th position. Fox Highland, Alan Andretti, and Wilson go 3 wide into turn number 3. Tyler Markle takes the lead. These guys battling 3 wides, allowing the lap car, Berto De Moya, to still be in front of these guys. Wilson falls back to 3rd. Highland stays in 2nd and follows Markle through. Alan Andretti's up to 3rd. Now Fox Highland's going to the outside. Will Berto De Moya hold up the leader on the outside and allow Fox Highland to get by him? I think these guys really need to try to get on the outside of this 96. Making a move to the inside's not going to work because Fox Highland now battling to the outside. He's going to try to take the lead from Tyler Markle. He wants to lead this one. Alan Andretti right behind Markle trying to push him down on the inside. They get really close. They almost touch, but Fox Highland's got the preferred line through the corner. Fox Highland's going to move up to the lead. Can Markle defend on the inside and get in front of the 57 and get back up to the top? He's not going to be able to do it. Fox Highland's going to lead this lap. 87 laps complete now. We've got a 4-way battle for the lead. Fox Highland and Tyler Markle in the 57 and 43 battling hard side by side. Highland almost has him cleared, but Markle can dive hard to the inside in the corners, but the 57 gets the drive off and clears him by the time he gets to the stripe. Berto De Moya in the way of our lead battle at the moment, and there's only more lap traffic coming. Earl Andretti trying to make a move to the outside. Markle will not let it go. Highland clears and Markle just dives so hard to the inside of that 57 and gets him side by side, but he just can't hold it coming off the corner. Great battle for the lead. Highland on the outside, just trying to hang on. David Wilson battling with David Leathers for the 5th position, while Alan Andretti in the 69 just cannot figure out whether he wants to go to the high side or the low side behind these guys. Berto De Moya definitely becoming a big factor in this race. Markle and Highland still battling on the inside. Andretti's going to try to take the outside. Now he's going to look to the inside. We might have some 3-wide action between our leaders here in a moment. Andretti's getting very impatient. The field is coming. Evan Straxpool is up. He's battling David Wilson for 4th. Now he's going to go to the inside of Andretti. The 38 has got some kind of steam right now. Trying to make moves. He's trying to get to the inside of Alan Andretti for 3rd position. Tyler Markle's finally got around Berto De Moya. Fox Highland trying to get by, but somehow Tyler Markle holds on the inside. Almost an impossible feat that we've seen here today. Holds on to the inside, keeps the lead, and is now working on more lap traffic, leaving Fox Highland almost a half a second behind him. Actually make that a full second behind him now, stuck battling with Berto De Moya. So Tyler Markle somehow pulled that off, and it worked out for him. Now Fox Highland and Alan Andretti are going to be battling for that 2nd position, and allowing Tyler Markle to just make his way through this lap traffic at his leisure. Oh, Straxpool gets into Rich Pratchett coming out of turn 4. They were 3 wide with David Leathers. They all keep it straight, but the 38 and 86 make contact coming out of turn 4. Straxpool driving very aggressively in that number 38 machine. with Rich Pratchard right now. Lots of side-by-side action as David Leathers falls back a few spots. David Wilson's moving up. Steve Bird now trying to take advantage of David Leathers in the 111 on the outside. We see the 56 of Freddie Trammell Jr. He's a lap driver, and he is making his way up through the field. Not sure if he had a pit stop or what happened, or if he's just that fast, but he's actually passing drivers and making his way up through some of our lead lap cars. As you see David Leathers there right in front of him. Marco's still out front. Alan Andretti's on his bumper. And Rich Pratchard's right there with Andretti trying to make some moves happen. But Tyler Markle thinks twice, and he's going to go after the lap traffic on the high side this time. Andretti's going to have to try to make something happen on the inside with Rich Pratchard trying to battle with him. Still clean and green, 100 laps complete, 150 more laps to go. Tyler Markle, your leader. Alan Andretti second, Fox Hyman and Richard Pratchard battling for third. Tyler Markle making his way through the lap traffic, finally gets down to the bottom again. Will he get past this 521 fast enough, or will Andretti start making it an issue? You just lose so much momentum on the exit of the corner on the inside line that it's really, really hard to keep up with the guys who can get on the throttle that much faster. Being on the inside, you can't really get on throttle, or you can send it around, so you really have to make sure you're straight before you can jump on it. Definitely kills your straight line speed, and that's what you see here. Markle just cannot get back to the top side, and there he goes finally after 3 laps. It's by the 521 and puts 2 cars in between the 69 and now the 38. Evan Straxpool trying to make his way up to the front. So now 2 lap cars in between the leader and second place. So Tyler Markle very, very happy with that. We should be seeing green flag pit stops in the next about 90 laps before we get some green flag pit stop action. But right now we have lap traffic action all over the place. Everywhere you look on the racetrack, we've got side-by-side action. We almost have 3 wide action between second, third, and fourth. Hyland backs out and allows Pratchard to jump in, but then he tries to jump. Oh, man. I can't believe these guys are keeping it all straight. Almost 4 wide action between the top 4 drivers here. And Steve Bird trying to get in the middle. These lap cars are slowing everything down in front of these guys, but holding them up just enough for the pack to catch back up. Here you see Rhett Sawyer in the 32 machine making an appearance up front here today, currently running 7th position. This lap traffic spreading everybody out, but at the same time bringing everybody closer. David Wilson in 9th place, way back there, stuck still behind Berto de Moya. Adam Jones almost loses it coming out of 2, which is going to create a 3 wide situation. Trammell almost gets into Jones. 3 wide. This is a battle for 12th place between Jones and Wilson. Wilson's going to take the spot. Delaney Nash is going to try to take another one from him, and he's going to fall in behind. Looks like Javier Vasquez is working his way up field. Currently in 17th position. Oh, and he gets really loose there in turn 2. So not a very good race here for Javier Vasquez at the moment. He's there battling with Bobby Leo Moxon in the 92 machine. But Bobby Leo Moxon is actually 3 laps down right now, currently running in 33rd position. So tough break for that 92 machine. So far in this race, we have 21 drivers still on the lead lap. Frank Wade being the next driver in jeopardy of going a lap down. Tyler Markle still picking his way through lap traffic. Starting to put a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field, but Evan Straxpool is working his way up. He's got him within a second now because he's dealing with these lap cars. But Straxpool now has caught your leader, and if Tyler Markle can't get by these 2 cars here, he might have some problems with that 38, because that 38 has been looking very strong in the last 20 laps. Lap cars becoming a very big factor. Markle trying to do something on the bottom. He cannot get it done against these cars. And Straxpool, he's going to take the lead in the number 38, and he's going to go, so let me show you how it's done on the inside. And he is almost going to clear the 038 on his first attempt. Might take him a few, but we'll see if he can get by him. Oh no, there was Tyler Markle going, see, I told you it wasn't that easy. But he is going to try. He's going to get a little bit loose out of 3, and Markle's going to be right on his tail. By the number 38 machine to take the lead on lap 117. Almost halfway through this race. This is the start of lap 120. Almost halfway through this race, these guys definitely working hard as Markle's trying to get back on the outside, but that 038 machine is just fast enough to be able to hold up the leader to allow more people to catch up. And as I say that, there's Fox Highwind in 3rd place coming up behind Tyler Markle. There's a few lap cars behind them, but that's going to allow them to catch back up, because this one car, they just can't get past. The next car back is David Leathers in 4th place. He's actually moved up a couple positions. He's trying to work on the 521 and the 24. Alan Andretti back in 7th position, battling with Rich Pratchard. Pratchard looking to take that position on the high side, and he's going to do it. Steve Bird's going to follow him around, and David Wilson is going to try to come around as well. So Alan Andretti falling back a little bit. He was up there running 2nd, 3rd, and just got caught on the bottom and is now starting to fall back. Up front, Tyler Markle and Fox Hyman still battling for 2nd place behind a lap car. Straxpool has finally gotten around those 2 lap cars that were holding everybody up. So we'll see if that 38 can start pulling away. The 43 and the 57 still have these 2 lap cars to go through, and they're battling. So we'll see if this changes anything. Can that 38 put a big gap on these guys and take home another win? .3 seconds now the gap between him and Fox Highwind and Tyler Markle. Over halfway in this. We're 3 wide with our 2nd and 3rd place car. And now the lap cars are going 3 wide, smushing Markle like an Oreo. Car gives up. David Leathers tries to jump in there. Doesn't want these two to get away. He's going to get by Tyler Markle, and he's going to try to pass the 520 with the 57 on the inside, but he's not going to be able to do it. Is he going to send it 3 wide into turn number 1? Yes, he is. David Leathers trying to go for second place on the outside. He gets by Fox Highwind and takes over that second place spot. Can he get by the 520, clear him, and get up to his line? Yes, he's going to move David Leathers up to second in a spectacular move by the 111 machine. Now he's got a little bit of time up to Evan Straxpool. Straxpool's accrued a 3.3 second lead, so we'll have to see if David Leathers can chase him down. We're looking at about 70 or so laps until we get green flag pit stops. So there is a chance that Straxpool may have burned off some of his rubber fighting that hard to get through traffic and then to put a gap between these guys. So David Leathers been kind of running about 5th, 6th place for the last 30 or so laps. May have been saving a little bit and might actually be on the move now. Look at all the gap that he's put between him now and Fox Highwind. So that 111 on the move now that he's got clear of the field and of other people. I'm sure once Evan Straxpool in 38 catches a lap car, it won't be very long before David Leathers is on his tail. But it looks like the 38 does have some clean air, at least for the next few laps. And while we got this little bit of break in the action, why don't you guys go ahead and crank it up? Third is starting to shake up between Tyler Markle and Fox Highwind. Markle trying to do it on the bottom side. Highwind battling on the top side. Highwind was running second there for a little while. And is now starting to fall back a little bit. Might have used up his tires just a little too much. As we say that, Tyler Markle has a really, really low line going down the backstretch. Is going to really, really hurt his entry in turn 3. And you see that as he has no speed down the straightaway. Williams McGee now pulls up alongside. Evan Straxpool in the 38 still out front. But David Leathers has now brought that gap down 1 second in open air. So David Leathers definitely faster than that 38 machine. But that 38 machine is catching a big group of lap traffic. Battling side by side in front of him. He will no doubt catch these guys in the next few laps, and it is almost the whole field. It's not just a couple stragglers. It is the whole field in front of them. So this ought to get interesting. Can the 38 get by a lap car or two before David Leathers catches up to him? Lap cars battling side by side in front of him is definitely not going to help his situation. David Leathers got the gap down to 1.8 in clean air. That 111 is coming. That 38 is going to have to figure something out because that 111 is much faster than him in clean air and on these tires. So we'll see what changes the 38 has to make during his pit stop. We have one green flag pit stop here coming up in about 40 to 50 laps. But before that, the number 55 machine, Eric Davis, is under threat of going another lap down. He was battling with the 10 of Will Bustler right in front of your leaders. They since stopped that battle and got single file, which is definitely going to help the 38 when it comes to trying to get around them. But David Leathers has almost got that gap down to 1 second. The two out front have amassed a 10-second gap over third place Williams McGee and the number 76 machine. But David Leathers really wants his third win of the season. He wants that hat trick. And what a better place to do it than here at North Wilkesboro at the J&K Motorworks 250. As they come across the stripe, that completes lap 146. We're almost at lap 150, where we get 100 to go, and the lap cars start battling side by side again in front of the leaders. Just in the frame, I saw 4 packs, and the 55 almost gets into the 10 as they're 3 wide out of 4. That's going to slow those two down. Now the 38 is going to take it 3 wide on the outside in turn number 1. A bold move by Strax pulling the 38, but there's David Leathers right there behind him, as we predicted. Now the 10 and 55 are going to battle side by side, and that's going to produce a battle for the lead. David Leathers to the inside of Evan Straxpool. They're side by side as they enter turn 1. The 38's got the preferred line, but can the 111 keep it going? No. Davis is going to hold it on the inside. Can the 38 take him to the outside, or will he go to the inside? No, he's going to go to the outside. So will Leathers. Will Leathers dive to the inside, try to make it through wide like he did? No, he's going to stay behind the 55. Leathers made that 3 wide move earlier in the race in the middle line, and it was beautiful. See if he actually tries to pull that on the 38. The 55 goes way up the track, almost gets into Straxpool. Lap traffic becoming very scary here. Tyler Markle and Rhett Sawyer currently battling for 5th, but the battle for the lead is in the middle of lap traffic. Straxpool getting a little bit of a breath now, with Leathers battling with Davis. Leathers is going to get by that 55 machine, and he is going to be right on the tailpipes of that 38 here in just a moment. Leathers right there. The field slowly catching these guys, still 9.5 seconds back to third place of Williams McGee in the 76, who's having a great run for himself right now. And David Leathers is going to try to go to the outside. Straxpool is going to block it and move to the outside. Leathers is going to go to the inside of the 38, and he almost gets him coming out of turn number 2. Will Leathers try to pull a middle line trick with these guys battling up in front of him? Right there in order to make a move if he wants to. And there we see Javier Vasquez in the 7, your second place contender in the championship, about to go a lap down by Straxpool, and he indeed is going to go a lap down. So tough race for the number 7 machine. Definitely going to have to try to bounce back from this next week to try to hold on to their championship points, because the guy in front of them is passing it right now, putting him a lap down. David Leathers falling back just a little bit from Straxpool with a couple lap cars on the inside, just trying to get by him. Number 7 is getting passed by everybody in this crowd, so something going on with the number 7 machine, and a tough break for Javier Vasquez as he gets into the 55 of Eric Davis. And they almost go around in 4. They touched fenders and almost sent it around. They both kept it straight, but wow, almost had a caution on lap 157. David Leathers doing everything he can to get around this 38, but there's so much lap traffic in front of him that he's really got to pick and choose his timing. Stuck behind the 110. Now he's going to have a lap car to his outside. He's going to have to go 3 wide. Duck on the inside now with that 77. That might slow him down enough where these other lap cars actually get by him on the outside. And Straxpool might actually get away. Leathers really needs to get to the top side because Straxpool is going to keep knocking these guys off. Got to have that momentum on the outside to keep that straightaway speed, or they can just eat you alive. As you see David Leathers now falling further and further back. He finally gets to the top side. But he falls just over a second back and now has 3 lap cars between him and the leader. So he's going to have to work a little bit harder now after that little mistake. Straxpool's got a little bit of clean air before he gets to Freddie Trammell Jr. in the 56. He's battling with the 83 machine of Chad Ross. Definitely a tough break for David Leathers, but really, David Leathers is doing what he has to do. He is the leader in the points right now. You know, the second place guy in points, who's, you know, 15 or 18 points behind him, is a lap down right behind him. So he's already got that going for him. He's in second, so he's in the points. He's in the points good. All he really has to do is maintain, and he'll add, you know, a 4th top 5 to his record, and just add to his points lead even more. So the 111 doing what he needs to do, but you know everything that he wants that hat trick. He wants that 3rd win. Doesn't happen very often here in the Esports Simulation League, so that 111 is very hungry. And we'll see if he can make anything happen with green flag pit stops. Ooh, 77 almost gets into Leathers there coming out of 4, so getting very dangerous around some of these lap cars as these tires are wearing down. We should see some green flag pit stops here in the next 20 to 30 laps. Evan Straxpool Ethel currently your leader after 167 out of our 250 scheduled laps here. Straxpool working at trying to get around the 42 machine of Jack Brown. Trying not to allow any of these drivers to get on his outside. You see the 14 is Zachary Taylor trying to battle back hard on the inside and trying to get his lap back. That is not happening as he puts Jack Brown a lap down. We only have 17 drivers left on the lead lap. Rich Pratchard, who is running up in the top 5, now currently 17th. The next driver in danger of going a lap down. Straxpool has now got about half the field a lap down just before we go to green flag pit stops. As he crosses the stripe there, that's 80 more laps to go. So I'm guessing these guys could probably stop fairly shortly and still be able to make it to the end. But we will have to see if anybody tries to chance that at early pit and get some fresh tires and some speed early on when everybody's still a little bit slower. But as we are sitting here, we'll do a little bit of a through your field. New leader we've been talking about has been kind of aggressive throughout the race. Number 38 machine, Evan Straxpool Ethel. So that about the last 20 to 30 laps. David Leathers caught him and lost him. David Leathers there in the 111 machine currently running second. He is your points leader. He's cruising along, trying to get that third win of the season. Currently in third. We talked about him a couple times. He's been very consistent. He's hung on most of the race. That number 76 machine, Waynes McGee, really doing a great job today. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage maybe in the right front, unless that is just the paint job that I'm seeing, but fantastic effort for that team today. He is a free agent driver. He's driving on his own. He doesn't have a team, so putting this kind of effort today, third place run up here at North Wilkesboro is pretty impressive. Back to our stage 2 winner. Back in fourth place, the number 43 machine, Tyler Markle. As we complete lap 175, that's going to be 75 laps to go. Tyler Markle up 12 seconds behind our leaders right now. Just kind of hanging on in the groove, working at trying to get by some of this lap traffic. And he's trying to hold off our fifth place driver, the number 68, Gunny, has got himself worked his way up into the top 5, so having a great run for that 68 crew. Running in 6th position. He was running up in second a little while ago. Is that 57 of Fox Highwind. He's currently battling with Brian Belt Jr., who is running 8th. They're going to swap spots. So Brian Belt Jr. is now going to be 7th with Fox Highwind running in 8th position. I'll make that 7th position. David Dunwoody is currently in 8th position in that number 28 machine. One lap car separating him and Fox Highwind and Ryan Belt Jr. at the moment. Pretty good run for David Dunwoody. He's started in 8th position and is currently running in 8th position. So throughout the up and down throughout the race, he is still about where he qualified. Al Andretti there. Actually, we have a pitter. We have a couple cars in pits. We have Chris Andrews and Zachary Taylor and our leader, Evan Straxpool Ethel, on pit road, lap 180. Frank Wade in the 5's coming to pit road. Al Andretti, we've got a bunch of cars coming to pit road. So here it is. There's David Leathers, your points leader in the 111, coming to pit road. So green flag pit stops have commenced on lap 181. And this is where it's about to get crazy. We're going to have guys out there with old tires. We're going to have guys out there with brand new tires. And it is going to be nuts until everybody gets pitted, everybody gets cycled through. To see currently out front, Waynes McGee is holding it down. 76 machine. Not ready to pit yet, or he was stuck with lap traffic. There's Rich Pratchard coming into the pit lane as we speak. Tyler Markle coming to the pit road now in the 43 machine. Looks like Brian Delp Jr. now taking to the pit road. I think that 76 is coming to pit road now. 76 hits the inside barrier or something. Not exactly sure what that was, but he bounced off the racetrack. Tough break for him. Gunny is going to stay out in the number 68 machine, and he is going to take the lead as you see Rich Pratchard coming off the pit lane. About 8 drivers still on racetrack that have not pitted yet. And Gunny's your leader is David. David Leathers got so much speed into the corner, he almost took out the 31 of Gerald Smith, and he's right there with your leader, Gunny. He's gonna unlap himself. Evan Straxpool Ethel is the next car in front of him. That is going to be the tentative lead with Evan Straxpool Ethel in the 38. Actually, no, Straxpool falls back. Straxpool pits again. The number 38 pits again. Not sure what happened with the 38, but he's going to fall out of contention for the lead. David Leathers, now your tentative leader, being the first car on track that has pitted. So some big problem with the 38. Not exactly sure what happened with him, but he is on pit road and stuck there. And that's going to give the lead to David Leathers once all the pitting cycles through. Gunny still staying out front, hoping for a caution or something. Because currently only 6 cars on the lead lap, and David Leathers unlapped himself as we just seen him pass Gunny there. So if a caution came out, David Leathers would be our leader, and he wouldn't have to pit. I mean, he might pit if a caution came out, because we've seen him at the 31, and these drivers seem to somewhat pit if they get a little bit or too much damage. So we'll have to keep an eye on David Leathers and see if he ends up coming to the pit road before getting into that 31 machine. But at the moment, David Leathers, your tentative leader. 5 cars out on racetrack have not pitted, with the exception of a couple lap cars, and that's going to be Gunny, Steve Bird, Delaney Nash, Adam Jones, and Tom Krieg. So 5 drivers still out on track, leaving the rest of the field there. You see Evan Straxpool there passing Gunny, now trying to work his way up a little through the field, and we've got 3 wide action, and I have a feeling that 68 really wants to pit, but everybody else with these faster tires is running the inside, and he just can't get back to the bottom. We have a few cars pitting as we go. Gunny and Delaney Nash, the only 2 left on track that still need to pit, and as Gunny goes to the inside, he's going to give up the lead. He's going to come down to pit road this time. Will Delaney Nash follow? Nope, Delaney Nash still to the outside. He's going to take the lead. David Leathers is going to move into second once he gets by Gunny on pit road. Delaney Nash really pushing this fuel mileage. Everybody stopped lap 52 when we had that stage break. He is staying out. We've now got 11 cars on the lead lap. See David Dunwoody getting by Delaney Nash. Him staying out is allowing a lot of these guys to unlap themselves. There you see Tyler Markle in the 43 machine unlapping himself. Markle was running up front most of the day, now down to 13th position behind Chris Andrews and David Dunwoody. But Delaney Nash better do something soon, because 1 second behind him, there you see him in the view there, 3 cars behind is the 111. David Leathers is coming. He's got the lead. He wants that triple. And all he's got to do is get by the 41, and it's official that he's got the lead. But he's battling with lap cars 3 wide going into turn number 1. He's kind of holding it off a little bit, but he's got to be careful, because the next car back is Kyoto Soto in the 36 machine. And Kyoto is a little ways back. He's 8.6 seconds back, so he can take his time getting around this 41 machine. He does have a fairly large lead as it is right now. And it's honestly, we only have, as he comes to the stripe, we have 51 laps to go. So it's basically stage 1 and 2 put together, what we've got left to go. And most of them have only been on tires for about 15 laps. So they're going to have kind of the racing we've seen halfway through this 100 lap stage. And as we cross the stripe, that is 50 laps to go. And David Leathers is now your leader. Delaney Nash in that 41 machine still holding on to second place on them old tires. He last pitted on lap 52, and as you see him pass the pit road there, he's still staying out. So definitely gambling on the pit strategy. I'm not really seeing much that's going to come of that, other than him getting stuck on the outside when he actually wants to pit and possibly running out of fuel. So we'll have to keep an eye on that 41 situation and see if he actually makes it to pit road. or might actually run out of fuel on the racetrack, not able to get pit road with all these faster cars around them. So we'll have to see about that. But as we do that, David Leathers is pulling away further and further, getting a lot of lap cars in between him and Kyoto Soto, who's going to be your tentative second place driver, 7.7 seconds back. And Leathers does have a little bit of clean air in front of him. Kyoto Soto, not so much. Look at all the lap cars that Soto's going to have to get through to be able to get to the 111. There you see the 36 car of Kyoto Soto coming out of number 4 and getting across the stripe. He's got a little bit of clean air in front of him. Not too many lap cars right in front of him at the moment. So definitely a little ways back from David Leathers, but if Leathers has a problem with some lap cars in front of him, a 36 car could definitely be jumping on it. Running in 4th place right now, our current 3rd place driver would be the number 32 machine of Rhett Sawyer. Sawyer putting on a good performance, and Williams McGee there in the 76 machine, he had a little bump coming onto pit road, but still only lost 1 position due to that bump. So still holding on very well, and the 32 machine pulls down to the inside. I have a feeling Rhett Sawyer might be going to the pit road. No, he just had some really bad issue there, and Williams McGee gets by. Something happened to the 32 machine. And Kyoto Soto finally gets by Delaney Nash in the 41. There you see 41 still out on track. 157 laps on the tires of that number 41 machine. And he is still out there running in 3rd position. And once again, he passes up the pits and is going to put another lap out. Have to be kind of worried as to what's happening with that 41 machine when he comes to pit road with everybody being so much faster. But Kyoto Soto trying to make his way through the field, get by these lap cars to try to catch David Leathers. David Leathers has done a great job and is now almost 10 seconds ahead of Soto in 2nd. David Leathers once again doing everything he needs to do to get this job done. Brian Delp Jr. in the number 8 machine has made his way back up to 3rd place. He did win our first stage, and he's made his way back up to 3rd, battling with Fox Highwind right now. Highwind not trying to give up that position. Brian Delp Jr. battling back after falling back on the inside line there for a few laps. Delaney Nash still on the racetrack, still hasn't hit pit road. Now he's hitting pit road. He slows up Frank Wade so much. Wade already way off the pace, but it definitely slowed Wade down and a couple drivers in that corner. But that is everybody pitting now. I'm sure that 41 will fall way down the list as he makes an extremely late pit stop. Rich Pratchard right now going a lap down from David Leathers. And there's the number 96 again, Berto de Moya. He held up the leaders last time where the leaders caught up and had a battle. This time, Leathers catches him with over 10 seconds, or 9 seconds now, back to 2nd place. So I think he will be just okay. Pratchard really not trying to go a lap down right now. He is currently running 13th position and is now the first car a lap down. So David Wilson in the 39 machine, currently running 12th, who is up front most of this race, is now the next car in danger of going lap down. You see David Leathers coming out of 4 as he's coming down the backstretch. Or sorry, coming out of 2 as he's coming down the backstretch. So Leathers is coming. Leathers is very, very fast. and Wilson just really needs to get moving. His teammate Tyler Markle in the 43 machine, our Stage 2 winner, is right in front of him in 11th place. So the two Black Magic drivers very strong at the beginning of this race, starting to fall back just a little bit, just outside the top 10. As you see the 43 and the 2 machine battling side by side. That 43 and 2, that is the battle for 10th, and there you see the leader coming behind him. David Leathers, 30 more laps to go, and he will have the hat trick. 3 wins out of 5 races this season, just absolutely dominating the Esports Simulation League presented by Education Solutions right now. And Leathers, all he has to do is hang on. Kyoto Soto is catching him just a little bit, but it's only been 3/10 in the last 5 laps, so it's definitely not going to be a factor. Just regular catching him. I think Leathers is going to have to make a mistake, or something is going to have to happen in front of that 111 in order for that 36 to be able to catch him and do anything about it. But as we've seen with that lower line, if the 36 gets into clean air and Leathers is caught up behind these battling lap cars for too long, we could see a change. We could see it happen. With 26 laps to go, anything can really happen here at a short track as David Leathers goes around Bobby Leo Moxon and is trying to get the 28 machine a lap down. David Wilson gets by his teammate in the 28 and says, I don't want to be a lap down, and David Wilson moves himself up into 10th. Tyler Markle's moved himself up into 8th. David Dunwoody, now the 11th place driver, in fear of going a lap down right now. Soto's got that gap down to 8 seconds to David Leathers. And gaining ever so slightly, just being stuck. We've got a 3-way battle for the 10th position in front of the leader. Brian Delp Jr., Tyler Markle, and David Wilson all battling for 8th, 9th, and 10th, and the 115 almost gets into David Dunwoody. It's going to slow him down, put him the inside, and that's going to make him vulnerable for David Leathers to get on the outside and put him a lap down through turns 1 and 2. Ooh, 28 gets really close to the 111 through 3 and 4. It's always a nerve-wracking seeing that inner car come up to the outside. Sometimes they touch, sometimes they don't. But Leathers gets by the 28. And that makes only 10 cars now. The top 10 are the only ones on the lead lap. And now the battle is for 10th between Markle and Delp Jr. and David Wilson is just getting by these guys. Like, I see that leader back there. I got to go. And as you see the 43 and the 8 move down to the inside, that's going to allow Leathers to get alongside. Dunwoody's going to come back and try to battle back and get that lap back. I don't think that's going to help with David Leathers on the outside. He's got such a strong car. He just pulls, even the 43 ran about the same line as him, and you see him, he's just gaining that little bit on Markle every lap, just trying to find his way around. Under 20 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro. David Leathers leading with Kyoto Soto just over 8 seconds, or just under 8 seconds now behind in that 36 machine. Fox Highwind is in third with Rhett Sawyer fourth and Williams McGee running fifth. And David Leathers working at trying to start putting the top 10 a lap down. He's got 10th place Tyler Markle right in his vision. But Markle and Delp Jr. battling for position. Looks like Williams McGee in the 76 is making an unscheduled pit stop. Not sure what happened with that 76 machine, but he is dropping from 4th place way down. And Brian Delp Jr. and Tyler Markle still battling with each other in front of the lead. But a tough break for that 76 machine. He's going to fall back to 18th spot at the moment. Leathers doing everything he can to try to get by Tyler Markle, letting him know he's not happy with the 43, holding him up. Almost gets into his door. He's going to fall in behind him. But he's really trying everything he can to get by this 43. Kyoto Soto has got the gap down to 7 seconds now. But he's got a lot of lap cars in between him and David Leathers at the moment. And those are all cars he's going to have to pass. I just don't think that 36 machine is going to be able to get it done in the time we have left. Markle and Delp still battling for 10th position in front of our leader. David Wilson pulling away, now running in 6th place. Trying to get away and battle with Alan Andretti. Wilson starting to catch him. This is going to be a battle for 5th place. David Wilson started up front, wants to finish there. Finished 2nd in the 2nd stage. Had a great starting spot for this 200 lap final stage. It is currently running 6th, trying to catch Al Andretti. But as David Leathers gets ready to cross the stripe, we're going to have 10 more laps to go. Leathers still stuck behind the battle of Tyler Markle and David Dunwoody. Looks like the 5 of Frank Wade, he took a little bit later pit stop. He's got some fresher tires, so he's now trying to stick his nose in here and get by these guys with some fresh tires. And David Leathers is working real hard to get around that 43 for the last 10 laps. He's just not been able to do it. Now out of turn 2, he finally gets him cleared. The 43 doesn't give him much room, but the 111 gets by. Now he's on a move for Brian Delp Jr. 7 more laps to go. Kyoto Soto still 7 seconds back from David Leathers and many lap cars in between. Leathers just has to be smooth and not make any mistakes. If Leathers gets slow and gets caught on the inside and gets slowed down by all these lap cars, there even is a possibility that Soto could grab it. But Leathers makes a good defensive move with the 5 being faster and still moves to the outside. Coming out of turn number 4, crossing the stripe. 5 more laps to go for David Leathers. Soto still not able to close in the gap. 2 seconds between Soto and Fox Highland, 2nd and 3rd. Soto battling with Freddie Trammell Jr. trying to get through this lap traffic, but there's just so many lap cars for him to get to be able to get up to David Leathers, your leader. Just not going to be able to do it, but a great run for that 36 team. David Leathers really putting on a show tonight. Kind of hung back 3rd, 5th, 6th. And just kind of stayed the course. And now that we had the run and ready to go, he just kind of took off. And honestly, he made up for it with the 38 pitting a second time. And that really hurt the 38 machine. He's currently now in 22nd place. And that was a bummer to see that happen. But that gave the lead to David Leathers in the 111 machine. And as he comes out of turn number 4, that white flag is in the air. One more lap to go here for the J&K Motorworks 250. David Leathers in the lead. Kyoto Soto has fallen back another half second, 7.6 seconds back. And as he comes through 3 and 4, this man has got to be happy. Call him 3-time. Give him the hat trick. David Leathers is going to win here at North Wilkesboro. 3 wins, 4 top 5s in 5 races. What a run for the number 111 of David Leathers. Kyoto Soto in the number 36 machine, bringing that thing home in second place. Fox Highwind with an impressive run, bringing it home third. Rhett Sawyer in the 32 is going to come home fourth, with Al Andretti holding off David Wilson for fifth. David Wilson in sixth, with Brian Delp Jr. coming home seventh. Tyler Markle brings that number 43 machine home in eighth, with his teammate David Dunwoody in the 28 machine coming home ninth. And Gunny is going to round out our top 10 in that number 68 machine with another impressive run for his team. But wow, what race tonight for David Leathers. And we will have to see. I don't see any of our drivers waiting for interviews, so we're not going to have any interviews for our drivers this evening. But what a race we had! And next week we got round 6. David Leathers has put a big lead over the number 7 machine of Javier Vasquez. He finished 16th position, so definitely put some points on his lead going into next week. We'll have to see what he can do with that one. Kyoto Soto having a great run, just not able to get through lap traffic enough to get to David Leathers, who had a great drive. But for everybody here at the Esports Simulation League, we want to thank you guys for coming out tonight and enjoying the race. I know I did. I hope you guys did too. We will see you guys next week when we go to Iowa Speedway and let these guys hit the big short track. It's be interesting to see. It's almost like a big Richmond Motor Speedway. So these guys are definitely going to be at high speeds, but definitely with some short track tempers. So make sure you join us next week, Sunday, for that. And until next time, we'll see you later.